Today on Car Traction, you join us in sunny Malvern, a brand new event to the Car Traction channel. Dad's been here the year before and it sounds like it's a great event, and we've certainly got the weather, and we're here ridiculously early in the MX-5, but even already there's a brilliant turnout in the pre-1960s section. I may or may not have already bought something in the Auto Jumble, which will appear at the end of the video. But first of all, I think before we look around all the cars parked up, let's have a little look at what's going on at the entrance to see some of the cars on the move rolling into this Malvern Classic Car Show. Always good to see a few of the vehicles on the move rolling into this Malvern Classic Car Show of September 2023. A couple of old gorgeous American pickups. It's a Chevy 3100 in front. Looks like they're stopping for something. We'll try and get a few arrivals, then have a look around. The featured marks for today are the lovely old mini cars. There's a huge club section all the way up there, which we will have a look at later. And there's also a bit of a commercial theme to today's runnings, but of course there'll be plenty more classic British sports cars, such as a pair of GT6s over there and some great old American classics. Next up is a great old Saab 95, the estate variant of the 96. What a brilliant practical classic that is. Love those. That's a V4. We'll be seeing all of these parked up in the show, of course. Another Triumph TR4. Quite a few of those here today. I'm sure there'll be a fair few of their MGB competitors here as well. Going to have to stay relatively zoomed out to fit this one in shot. It's that a Chrysler Imperial, I think. What an incredible car. And I think I'll have to zoom in a bit for that one. Well, even more, because he's not coming here for some reason. Let's have a little peek. Why is he pulled over there? Well, here's a pair of beautiful pre-war cars. A pre-war Daimler first up. Lovely saloon, most likely a pre-selector. What a gorgeous old car that is. Followed by another pre-war Morris. This is probably 1930s, the Morris being 20s. You can see the style differences when the Morris comes past. Gorgeous old car there. And here's the Morris, looks so much more primitive. Fantastic in yellow as well, love the look of that. Quite a rare body shape as well, I presume that'll be a dicky seat in the back. And very interested in a Lambretta Royal Mail vehicle on the back of this trailer. Never seen anything like that before. That's a bit crazy. And a great old Austin Metropolitan. Haven't seen that car before. We'll be seeing plenty new cars here, as we are quite a way away from our normal stomping ground. A stunning GT6 Mark II. Love those. That one's got the original sort of covers over the wheels. That is lovely, isn't it? Mark II is probably my favourite of them all. Plenty more minis will be rolling into the Malvern Three Counties Showground. Quite a fruity sounding one there, an Austin Mini. An XR3 Escort. These are all the rage now, aren't they? The fast forwards. Looks good with those decals down the side. Great contrast with the red and black. More Mini goodness, quite a late car. Mini Cooper. Also sounding quite fruity. That one's got a 1275 in it, evolution of the BMC A series engine. And the cars are queuing to roll in now. Another MGB. This is a GT, bit of a rally car. I like that spot lamp on the front and the painted reg, or the decal reg. Nice spot lamp on the back of that one as well. Very tasty looking Moggy Minor. Of course, a few classic motorbikes here. That's an old Ariel there. Good news, folks, looks like the Izetta's going again. Nice early and original one in blue and white. What a great little car those are. Love that. Rover SD1. Great V8 burble out of that. That's a Vitesse actually, so even rarer variant. Now what on earth is this? It says Rotus on it. Is it perhaps a bit of Lotus going on in there? That's going to require some further inspection. It's a rotary engine powered. It looks vaguely Lotusy though, but it's got a rotary engine in it. So a very high revving engine there. You can hear it in the background. Here's the Volvo PV544. I'm sure that'll be popular with Dad in his video. That's a great looking car, isn't it? Love that. Gorgeous Swedish classic, couple of Cobras. I like the hardtop one actually. Looks very sleek. Here's the 427 convertible. Bit of vintage car content inbound here. A pre-war American car, I believe. Can't tell exactly what manufacturer that is. Oh, it's a Buick from 1930. A gorgeous old car, most likely a 6-cylinder side valve engine. And if we just peek past Dad doing his video, what on earth is that? Old 3-wheeler pickup, never seen anything like that. Cortina behind. Dad is being beckoned over. That looks fantastic in yellow, never seen that before. So many new classic vehicles. One of the Light commercials. Still no idea what it is, unfortunately. Nope. If anyone knows, which I doubt, please do let me know in the comments. A left-hand drive Cortina. That looks very sharp, doesn't it? I think those are good looking cars. Well, that's a Taunus actually, sorry. That would explain it being a left-hand drive. And some MG goodness. Good old midgets. Those are the A-Series BMC engine as well. Always plenty of those at any classic car show you go to. Square arch. Pretty little car, I think. First up, let's have a brief perusal of the 1970s section. I'm sure many of the viewers watching this video as we speak have many memories of these cars, so if you do, please do drop a little comment in the section below. So we're starting off this iconic era with a Mark III GT6, very fittingly. I absolutely love these. 2-litre straight 6, 4-speed with overdrive on 3rd and 4th. Great car those. Very classy actually, looking in black on mini lights. Here's a Spartan kit car. And a very tasty looking TR6. This is absolutely immaculate. It's got racing-esque belts in there as well. Isn't that fantastic? Brilliant colour as well. British Racing Green, BRG. That is lovely as well. Great burble will be coming out of that exhaust. Let's have a look around the front of that beautiful classic British sports car. That is very tasty, isn't it? I really like that actually. It's one of the best looking TR6s I've seen. A Triumph TR7. A bit of BMC Farina goodness. Austin Cambridge there. Looking very jazzy in the two-tone. Here's a Series 2 Jaguar in brown. Brilliant quality car. This is an auto gearbox, a 3-speed. This would most likely be a 4.2 straight 6 car. They did make a V12, but they're quite rare, so that's most likely going to be a 4.2. Here is a lovely car. Another GT6. This one's a Mark II with the bumper front sort of higher, and it's got little brake lights at the back that are different to the Michelotti style cut-off tail. That is very iconic with many Triumphs of the 70s. These have just got the little sort of dimple lights at the back. Still a beautiful classic British sports car. The Mark II is probably my favourite, but any GT6 is just a great old GT. That is absolutely gleaming in that sort of metallic blue. Immaculate chrome as well, looking stunning. Ford Capri with some tasty RS rims on it. Like the look of that. Nice early car. An MG midget. This is a round arch. Most of the cars we see are a squared off rear arch. That's a great little sporty number. Another classic British sports car legend is this MGB GT. This is from 1979, honeycomb grille. It's got some V8 style wheels on it, which look very good actually, which for sale. Tax and MOT exempt, runs well, overdrive, 3,500. There's the details. I think that's a good buy, to be honest. What a brilliant colour as well for that. I believe this will have been a chrome bumper conversion, because 79 it would have been a rubber bumper originally. So this has been converted, but it looks just like any sort of early 70s V8 car or mid 70s. It's done very well indeed. That is absolutely lovely, that. As a Moggy Mine 1000 rolls past. Hopefully you'll be seeing many of those here today as well. Let's have a little look at the pre-1960s section here. Start off with the Morris Z van in the Royal Mail livery. I like the matching Pyrini fire extinguisher on that GPO. There's the little engine on there, little side valve. That's a great little gem, I'm sure Dad will like that one. An MGA Coupe here, the little hardtop, very shapely hardtop in my opinion. It's from 1958, interesting little door handle setup with these. Very light, built in 58, exported to South Africa, where it remained until July 2002, when it was brought to England. During the next 2 years, it underwent a nut and bolt restoration. And there's the rest of the information. Purchased this car in June 2010, so had it about 13 years. That is beautiful, and that's metallic silver. You can tell that's been restored by a professional, really. It looks absolutely stunning there. Love that. Trap TR4. Very smart car, this one. Look at that gleaming engine bay, the twin SUs just on the other side there. Great sound out of that. Let's have a little look at those gleaming carburetors with the K&N stickers. That is great, great classic British sports car content. Lovely interior, that is just a piece of art, isn't it? I love the style of that sort of racy steering wheel. This car is absolutely immaculate, it's incredible. Love that, really do. Here is an Austin Hartford 16.6, so a huge old six-cylinder car from 1935. There's the interior, great burbly noise, I'm sure, probably a 3-speed transmission. That's for sale as well, restored at a great cost. There's the details. What a beauty this is, absolutely immaculate, nicely mellowed in there. I like all the sort of wood elements around the interior. Real quality car. Very heavy car, but that means it's built extremely well. That is a gorgeous car. Got the lovely old no-tech lamps on the front as well. Very period correct, some nice badges. That is a lovely old pre-war car. First of many I hope to see here today at the Malvern Classic Car Show. Now let's try and figure out what this is. It's American and pre-war, and it was a Buick from 1930. It's kindly got the engine on show. What a beautiful unit that is. A big old 6-cylinder, I'd imagine. Yeah, there's 6 spark plugs on the top there. Inline 6 side valve engine in beautiful condition. It's actually a really large unit actually on there. Probably quite a large capacity, like 3.5 litres, maybe 4 litres. Might be a similar engine to the likes of our Dodge pickup, which is about 3.8. which is also a flathead inline 6. Let's have a look at the beautiful quality interior in here. This is a left-hand drive car, so originally intended for the USA market and imported to the UK at some point in its life. That is a lovely old car. Not over-restored, just nice and original. I think it has been restored, but it's been kept all the bits and nice and original, which is just how we like to see them here on Car Traction. Very snazzy Ford Anglia here. I like the wheels on that one. Lovely shape those, aren't they? Followed up by a Corvette Stingray. Saw a manual one of those recently. They're very rare being manual. I presume that one's probably an auto. Sounds like it's an auto. Great shape, aren't they? And last but certainly not least is this gorgeous pre-war Riley Kestrel. Most likely a pre-selector box, although some of these were just a 4-speed crash box. No synchro. Beautiful sound of whiny gears. Love that. What a stylish car. And here is the brilliant little Lambretta van. I realise now this is meant to be evocative of the Postman Pat van and his black and white cat on the bonnet. There's a few more modern classics roll past. That's a great little thing. Let's have a look at the information. Postman Pat's van, also known as the Larwill William Micro Van. In this rare example was in need of major restoration when purchased in October of 2021, powered by a 125cc Lambretta engine with a 3-speed manual gearbox and reverse, importantly. Perhaps column change, I can't quite see in there. Very primitive, isn't it? The sliding windows, that's done up really nicely actually, I love that. What a great little find that is.
Oh, been demoted, mate.
Love that. And it's very good in the Postman Pat livery as well. Oh, there he is, looking a bit sleepy. What a great little thing that is. Love that. Here's an Austin Metropolitan, intended for the US market. This is most likely an Austin, being right-hand drive. An interesting little fact about these is the doors. When you take off all the trim, they can be interchangeable on either side. Love the old Metropolitan. Very jazzy bonnet mascot on this one. This is from 1962. Original 4-cylinder engine from BMC. I'll get a little look under the bonnet here. 3-speed column change. There we are, gleaming under there. What a beauty. This is quite a rare sight on UK roads, isn't it?
It is, yes.
So when have you acquired this particular car?
It was 3 years ago. They all belong to that gentleman there. All these vehicles. We bring them down from course. Not far.
Wow, that's great, isn't it?
Yeah, go to all the local shows.
Was it in this condition when you got it?
Fully restored. It's never been on the road when we bought it.
Wow, so you restored it?
I didn't know, but we bought it off the chap that did.
Oh, right.
It was into Metropolitans in a big way.
That's fantastic. I love that.
No, it's absolutely smashing.
It's such a sort of iconic design. Yeah.
It was done for the American market,
yes,
primarily.
So would this be an Austin being for the UK?
Oh yes.
And then it was the Nash.
A few right-hand drives, but they're mostly left-hand.
So that would be the Nash, am I right in saying? Oh, okay, yeah, that's great. What are they like to drive over here?
Like a modern car, apart from you have to think about braking a little bit before.
Well, that's the same with any old car.
Other than that, smashing, it keeps up 50, 55, 60.
You can't ask for any more than that, can you?
No.
What's it like driving the column change?
Well, I'm of an age where I remember them when I was driving initially anyway, so it's no problem. It's only 3-speed.
Yes, I guess you just pop it in top and keep going.
The fact that you have to do it slowly.
Yeah.
Crash.
Yes. Because I know sometimes they can be a bit sort of sloppy.
When the mechanism wears a little bit, then you have to play around with it.
So did you sort of restore the gearbox?
Everything was restored.
Wow.
Nut and bolt restoration.
Wow.
Floor up. Yeah.
That's incredible. So do you know any of the other history about this car?
No, I don't. As I say, Baz is the owner, and it's all got down there. You'll see in front of all the cars. All the storyboards about all the...
That's great, that, isn't it? I don't remember seeing many in red either.
No, blue and cream.
Yes.
Was the turquoise, I think they call it.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Well, thanks for the little insight into it.
Pleasure.
Great to get a bit of background info on that Austin Metropolitan. Next up is a great little BMW Isetta in blue. This is a deluxe, quite an early car from '59. Built in Britain, this one, interesting, but still left-hand drive. But I guess being a micro car, it doesn't really matter. You have to change which way the door opens. The earlier ones of these just with the single wheel at the back. Complete restoration finished in 2018. It's a great little thing, that, isn't it? Next up is a fantastic old Daimler. This is a Light 15 from 1934. Beautifully quality car there. Love some of the pre-war stuff. Let's have a little look at the interior. Pre-selector gearbox as were many of the pre-war Daimlers and some of the Lanchesters. Nice spare tyre and wheel in there. What a beauty. That is immaculate condition, but still nice and sort of mellowed inside. Nice sort of old style of seats. Fantastic old car there. Rear hinging doors.
When I say re-upholstered, it's been re-upholstered inside. It's all the original covers.
Yes, that just looks...
All the innards had all collapsed.
Just looks right, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Beautiful quality, isn't it? I love all the wooden sort of bits on the doors.
Well, the body's entirely wooden framed.
Yes.
And metal clad.
So is this the sort of thing that would have been bodied by a separate company?
Yeah, this one was Mulliner.
Oh, there we go. Got the nice old plaque there. Yeah. Coachwork by Mulliners.
Yeah.
Pre-selector.
Yeah.
How many speeds is this?
4 speeds and reverse.
Oh, right. And what engine is it?
6-cylinder.
Oh, nice.
I'll show you.
I'd love to have a little look.
How the wheel moves to get in.
I like these bonnet catchers. They're a nice little touch.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That is brilliant.
It looks really comfortable in there, doesn't
It is.
Yeah. Just sit back.
2 people and a dog.
There we are. I like this bonnet setup actually. That looks sort of fairly sturdy, doesn't it?
Sturdy, could describe it.
Yeah. So what size is that then?
It's an odd size. It's 1830.
Oh, right.
1830. Well, it was, but it's been bored out to 6. It's how oversized now, so it's a bit more than it was.
Let's have a little look over the other side at that little plaque.
People saying to you, oh, I'd love to buy that.
What a beautiful unit that is. So was that used just for this car? Did it go into any other Daimlers?
Yeah, a range of Daimlers and Lanchesters.
Oh, right, yes. Yeah, it's beautiful.
As you describe it, it's got the valve clearances on it.
Oh, right.
Because apparently they weren't necessarily standard.
Okay.
And once they were produced as just a chassis scuttle without a body,
Yeah.
a Daimler tester would take them out for a day and set the engine up to how it got it running best.
Oh, that's customer service, isn't it?
They were all different. Clearances are stamped on each individual engine.
Oh, right. So that will have different sort of markings on it for each car.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Do you know how many of these were made?
No, I don't.
I can't imagine there'd be many left on the road now.
I think in the Daimler Owners Club there's about 15.
Yes.
18. Less than 20 anyway.
Yes. Yeah.
That's not to say there aren't some more about, aren't known about.
Beautiful old car. I love the sort of 30s design. I think it's just really graceful.
It is, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's beauty. Oh, this chrome has come out really nicely. You say it's been re-chromed.
Yeah. Castle Chrome in West Bromwich.
Oh, right. It's a gorgeous car. Thanks for letting us have a little look under the bonnet there. Here's the beautiful old Morris. Pretty similar engine size to the old Daimler. This is a side valve engine in here, 1800cc as well, 3-speed gearbox. Has this been restored, this car as well?
A long time ago.
So an older resto?
Yeah.
Yes. What a beauty that is. Know any of the history about this one?
No.
Oh, right, okay.
Bought from an owner in the West Midlands, previous owner who'd had it quite some time, and I think he'd rebuilt the engine.
Oh, right, yes.
But I've not had to do much to it at all.
So this is your car, is
I
it?
look after all this fleet.
Oh, of course, it was the Nash.
Postman actor.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just crazy the difference between 20s and 30s, isn't it? Because
1926, 1934, not even 10 years difference.
yeah, they're really sort of similar period, but you got the sort of swoopy lines of this Daimler, and then it's all sort of really boxy and primitive.
Yeah.
So is this an ash frame as well, sort of thing?
I guess it's ash.
Yeah.
It seems to be softer wood than this one.
Yes, you can see the wooden frame going round there. Must be quite a rare body shape as well.
It's very rare, this one's called a doctor's coupe.
Yes, yeah, you see Alvises sometimes like that, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely not many of these about.
Of course, the dicky seat in the back, is it?
Yeah.
Does that get used often?
No.
Nice klaxon horn on the running board as well there. So all these cars from the Morris, so that's Postman Pat van, all these owned by the same owner, cared by a couple of people, very kind people who've let me have a closer look at them, which is fantastic. Moving on, next up in the pre-50s section is this Morris Minor with some nice period maps. I like the Benzol one. There's also an SO1 just over there of Wales and the Midlands, where many of the cars here will have originally been from. Great condition in the light blue. Always great to get an insight into some of the history of the cars here. Here it's an Austin Healey 104, quite an early car, nice side pipes just down there as well. The early style of interior, 4-speed manual gearbox. Very lovely car. There's a bit of a information sheet which is very good. We'll have to have a look at that, of course. From 1955, a BN1, last of the first model of Austin Healeys made at Longbridge, originally sold via an Austin dealer in Wolverhampton in 1955. Sounds like it has some form of Australian history. Had come from Melbourne to Adelaide and eventually found its way to Perth before it was put back to a road car in the 90s. Apparently it's had some racing history in Australia, but returned to road spec in the 90s. Brought back to the UK in 2015, so a well-travelled Austin Healey there. Very early car. And here's the beautiful old Riley. I believe this is the Kestrel body shape, probably my favourite body shape. Let's have a little peek through the rear window of this car. That is fantastic. Here's the engine. Great little engine there. I like that Riley logo on there. Not exactly sure what sort of size that is. What a brilliant old car that is. An MGTC perhaps here, another T-Series car, perhaps just post-war. Nice pair of couple of wheels on the back there. Usually you see this on like trials cars to get the weight over the rear tyres. Another very nice and early Healey, perhaps another 104 maybe. Let's have a look around the front. This one's got the gear lever distinctively on the wrong side again, but also a 4-speed manual. I like those side pipes, I must say, on these. Nice leather strap across the bonnet. Maybe a bit of a racy history. This is a 100M actually, so it is the racy variant. Nice louvers in the bonnet there. I think these early Healeys are absolutely gorgeous. Really like that. Great old Mark I Ford Consul here. These had the little 4-cylinder as opposed to the Zephyr just over here, which had a 6-cylinder engine. Great 50s American style here. This has actually got a floor change, which is quite rare. I'm pretty sure that's converted because most of these would have been a 3-speed column shift gearbox, so that's an interesting little mod. Great colour scheme. Here's a Mark II Cortina, lovely original condition, perhaps a little lower. On some very nice steel wheels there. That really suits it, doesn't it? Great colour as well. Here's a Triumph Herald 1360. Actually, it's a Vitesse no less. This is a 2-litre Mark I Vitesse. There's the 2-litre straight 6 on show there. Great sounding engine. That car is in beautiful condition. You can see the whole front lift forward, which is very handy for sitting on the tyre while working on your Triumph engine. What a beauty, that is fantastic in condition on the interior as well. Love that. Just over here, a very original looking Moggy Minor, quite an early car with the Speedo just in front of the driver. I believe this might be an MM. Sure is, with the cheese grater grille. It's a very early example there, quite rare. And here's a Jowett Javelin. Don't see many of these. These have a Boxer 4-cylinder engine in them, and then they've got the grille that would hinge out and unclip relatively easily. Pretty car that. They're meant to be quite quick as well, actually. That is in stunning condition. That's got to be just fresh out of a resto, because that looks incredible. They did a deluxe model of these. This might be a deluxe, I don't know. Column shift, probably a 3 or 4 speed. That's such a beautiful old car. And Triumph TR3 on the end here, not a TR3A. The little difference being the 3A. That's the door handles just on the side there. As I presume with the 3 or the earlier TR2, you just have to lean in to open the door. Nice body colour wires on this car as well. There's the stunning back of the Javelin. The lovely interior, the TR3. I hear the distinctive rumble of a 2GZ inline 6 from this Mark IV Supra. Very modified. Very loud as well. I'm sure that makes some crazy power. A gorgeous 40s Rover now. That's P2 I want to say. That is lovely. So many fascinating classic cars. Here it's always great to have a chat with the owners. Let's have another look on the second row of the 70s section, starting off with the Saab 95 here. The V4 engine under there, so just the 2 cylinders in there and a couple more on the other side. These are a great looking car. You can see how far the bonnet comes forward. It's like double hinged. I don't know how to explain it, but it doesn't just hinge up, it sort of moves forward as well, which is very clever. What a great old car that is. Another oddity is the Citroen DS21, a slightly later car, the 1-spoke steering wheel of course, with these. These are also a column shift gearbox, perhaps a column shift auto, not quite sure. Some of these later cars were probably autos. A Triumph Stag in green, very similar green, actually a bit lighter than the TR6 we saw earlier. Beautiful condition, all this chrome here, it's absolutely immaculate. Another Michelotti designed car, automatic box in this one, 70s Mini, MX-5, big gate crashing, I'm not quite sure that's from the 70s. An MGB, we're seeing plenty of those here on the wide Mini-like wheels. Great colour as well, sort of hump in the bonnet. I believe this is actually a V8 engine car. Oh, there you go, it's an MGB V8 with the Rover 3.5 litre V8. This sounded very nice on the way in. Ford Cortina Mark III, fairly low spec car, just being a 1600, but it is in absolutely incredible condition. Just look at that interior. If we have a little peek through, all sort of beige and orange in there, but it is in absolutely stunning condition, this car. You can see the chrome grille of the slightly cheaper variants of them. That is lovely, that. Here is a Herald 1360 convertible, another one of my favourite sort of 70s cars there. Next up in the pre-60s is this Moggy Mine 1000 in light blue. Gorgeous colour there, I really like that car. This is probably one of the slightly smaller engine cars. Oh yes, a 2.4, so the smallest of these straight 6 engines available in this Jaguar Saloon from the 50s, 1959, so just fits in. This is a very nice early car with the spats down the side there. Beautifully original interior as well. Let's have a look around the other side. I really like the steering wheels on these old Jags. I like the spats as well. That's a great period mod. Lovely 4-spoke steering wheel in there. Beautifully quality interior. Really handsome car, that. Sounded very nice as well. This is a Rover 12. This is a sports saloon with the lower roofline here. 1938, so it's actually just pre-war. This could be a 4 or a 6 in the car, both flathead side valve engines. What a beauty that is in grey. Very handsome car. Over here is an extremely rare little car. This is a Morris 8 Series E-Tourer with the sort of later version of the Morris 8 with the lamps streamlined into the wings. This is very rare, isn't it? Never seen this car before. So many new classics we're seeing here. This is actually more vintage, or getting nearer there. This is probably 30s. Actually, no, being a Series E, it'll be 40s. Series E was the post-war variant of the Morris 8 with, as I said, the streamlined headlamps and a different streamlined grille at the front there. Very nice looking car. Here's another huge old Daimler. This is a drop head coupe, huge rear hinge door, just the one door in this. Another pre-selector box on this one. Very sort of beautiful, beautiful car. Unrivaled quality. Here's a great old Ford Zephyr. This is a Zephyr 6 cylinder engine on there. matched up to a very nice looking pair of twin Webers. I'm sure that's not quite standard with K&N filters in them. It's for sale, well restored several years ago. It's fantastic, isn't it? Really like the look. I think the Zephyr's a brilliant looking car, and especially with this sort of perhaps slightly period tuned engine, twin Webers on there, that would sound and go quite nicely. It's just a great looking car, I think. Just beyond that is an Austin 10, I believe this is. Perhaps a 10 for Litchfield, I want to say. Bit of pre-war motor in there from Austin. At the end of the 60s section here, great old Anglia on some very nice wide, perhaps widened or banded steel wheels, similar to the Cortinas. That's a great looking car, isn't it? Really love the shape of those nice registration plates as well. Here's a Ford Zodiac, very handsome car. These have a 2.5 litre straight six. This is a Mark II car from 1962. This is a column shift gearbox car, as were many of the cars of this period. Great looking car, those. Mark II Cortina Lotus, I think those are called. There's a little bit of a sort of strange order in the name of these, but this is fantastic. The Sibi lamps on there, and the Lotus stripe down the side. Nice. These are the sort of rims I was talking about, comparing it to that Anglia. I like these door mirrors as well, very streamlined, lovely interior as well, and it's a very nice looking car actually. Really like the look of that. Moggy Mine 1000 on some modified wheels. Daimler SP250 Dart. These have the 2.5 litre V8 that went into the Daimler variant of the Mark II Jaguar as well, perhaps a little bit more tuned up in the SP250. Some period advertising on the back there. Quite a small capacity engine, but they do sound very nice. Great classic British sports car there. Here's a Ford Zephyr. This is quite a late car actually in the sort of Zephyr and Zodiac series. Big tin grille on the front there. You can see the American influence with the fins, straight lines going down the side. Very handsome car. Riley 1.5, you'll know I like this one. Sporty variant of the Wolseley 1500. I don't even need to mention the twin carbs. Actually, perhaps some slightly larger rims on that one. I like the look of that. Ford Zephyr here. This has also got a 2.5 litre straight six in it, most likely matched up to a column shift gearbox. Triumph TR4A, I believe this one is. Very tasty car there. Love the look of that. Triumph TR4, the A having the little lights on the end of the rims there. Triumph Herald 1250 Tourer, and a very nice early Beetle Cabriolet. That's probably the earliest cabriolet I've ever seen. 6-volt car with the domed headlamps. Very handsome. And just over here is a fantastic little car. I'm so happy to see this again. This is a Renault 4CV with a difference which we can't actually see usually. These have a 750cc engine like ours, but this one has had a Renault 5 engine swapped into it, which has increased the performance quite a bit. I'm going to have to keep talking because there's a bit of jolly music coming from the 2CV to avoid some copyright issues from YouTube, but certainly with that little swap it makes quite an exciting little car. And I really love the look of it in red as well. Got some Francophile items in front. That is just brilliant, isn't it? Very stylish little car. Looks brilliant in red. Actually, you really don't see many 4CVs. Here is another extreme rarity, a Peugeot 304 Cabriolet. Don't see many of these as well. Really pretty car, nice straight lines. Perhaps Farina design? Maybe, I'm not exactly sure. Just beyond that's another great Riley 1.5. Rover P6, this is another early car with the tin front. That's a 2000, probably single carb. And a VW Carman gear, a bit modified, bit of like a metal flake paint job on there. And Mini Light esque wheels. And another pairing of Moggy Miners. Another 1000 saloon. And the first Traveller we've seen here today. Gorgeous little Lotus Elan Sprint Coupe here. This is in the yellow, gold and white livery, with the gorgeous Elan Sprint decals down the side. Really quick car. Absolutely beautiful. I love these, especially the hardtop little coupes. Absolutely stunning little car there. Yet another Moggy in the light blue. There's an Escort van there, which is very rare. This is an 800 weight van. Most of these you see modified, but this one is completely unmodified, most likely original as well, which is interesting to see. TR6 on some painted wires, looking very good. Mark II Escort, that is a very clean looking car actually. That looks very cool. Beetle, this is quite a later one. Rover P6, 2000 twin carb. An MGB. And a couple more MGBs, a rubber bumper Roadster. And a great Triumph Spitfire in purple. Some more great cars from the 60s here. An XK150 Jaguar. This is a drop head coupe. In a gorgeous shade of blue. This is a left-hand drive actually, interestingly. So perhaps a foreign market car, maybe America. Wouldn't be Australia, as Australia is on the right-hand side. This is an interesting variant, and especially being left-hand drive, quite rare. Unfortunately, no information regarding that car, so we're left guessing. Little 1100 Morris, I think this one is. Very common car in period. Now, not at all. See a few of them on the show scene, but not nearly as many as there were made. Another MGB that's got a C bonnet actually, so this is probably actually an MGC with the 3 litre straight six. Sometimes you do see Bs with the C bonnet, but I think this is a proper MGC. You can always have a look at the back. Debumpered as well. Nice decal registrations. It's actually been debadged, but it is for sale, and it says on the for sale advert that it is indeed a C. There might be a difference in the rev counter, I don't know. There's the information. Very sporty road rally spec, fast road most likely actually, as it's got no roll cage. Looks very nice. Great old Escort. Is this a Mark IV? Not too good on this sort of thing. That's good. And is this perhaps an Orion? It's a gear spec. I'll have to have a look around the back. It's a bit late for me. This sort of thing looks totally original. That's an Orion 1.6 gear. So it's the sort of more posh version, 5-speed manual. Looks super original that as well. Another real rarity is this old Lancia here. These are mid-engined or rear-engined. I'm not sure which it counts as. Not a great reputation at all, these in period, to be honest. Even the engine on show with the side hinged bonnet. It's got an Alfa Romeo engine in there. Looking very shiny and fast indeed. A gated 6-speed manual. Very exotic. Z3. Another MGB GT. Great showing of those here today. And this is very nice, a gorgeous little Lancia. This is from 62, an Appia Berliner. This is absolutely beautiful. Looks similar to sort of Peugeots of the period, but no, a Lancia, Italian. Is that maybe a tiny little V4 engine in there maybe? Looks like it might be. It's matched up to a column shift gearbox. That's a gorgeous little car. Really love the look of that. That is just, the proportions are perfect on that. Very sweet little car. Mini pickup. And another Ford Prefect. This one's a tad shinier than the one we saw before. And this one is actually an E93A, which predates the other one. So this is probably 40s actually, if not 1950. But the E93A having these separate headlamps, as we saw with the E493A, had the headlamps blended into the wings in a similar style to the Morris 8 and Series E. So that's an absolutely immaculate car. It's got a tax disc from 1948, which is pretty correct, so I wouldn't be surprised if that's actually the year of this car. That is absolutely gleaming. Switching over a decade to the 70s again, Triumph Stag on Wolf Race-esque wheels. Another Citroen DS. These are really rare, but we've seen plenty of them here today. This is a DS20S. It's actually for sale as well. A lot of cars for sale. This is from 1972, imported from South Africa, which is a very dry environment, so rust-free. And yet another MGB in the same shade. And this is a great little car. I believe this is an NSU R080. Let's have a look around the back. When was the last time you saw one of these? What an incredible car that is. Almost looks like a similar age of Audi, maybe, but that is absolutely fascinating. Floor change.
I've never seen it. I mean, I don't think they'll be very often.
This period they were phasing out column change. That's quite a cool looking car actually. I just can't remember what engine there are in them. If anyone has any history with any other cars here or knows anything that I'm leaving out, please do let me know in the comments below. Rover 3500S, 3.5 litre V8, matched up to a manual gearbox. Judging by the S, this has got the earlier style of grille as well, which is interesting. So a very early car for the Rover V8 engine. And here is a Citroen 2CV, quite a late one with the square headlamps. The gorgeous little, not a Moggy Minor van, this is an Austin perhaps 600 weight or something van, same shape as the likes of the Morris Minor van, but no, this identifies as an Austin. This is a 600 weight van, there you go. That's interesting, it's got an Alfa Romeo engine producing 165 brake horsepower. That is a lot. It's got a Toyota 5-speed gearbox. I like the BRSCC badge on the front of that. That's an incredible little conversion. It looks completely stock from the outside, apart from a cheeky little side pipe there. But that would go really well with that engine in it. What an incredible conversion that is. Looks like it fits in relatively well. That is very interesting. Very interesting car. Here's the little Elan and one of the many Moggy Minors. 80s section now. A Renault Turbo Rally car. A long wheelbase Audi Quattro. And an XR3 Escort. I like the look of the decals on that one actually. It's a nice contrast with the red. And standing dangerously close to the microphone here. And there's a Mark 1 Golf driver
Let's
here.
have the first ones in the arena.
Sounds like the arena's opening up now. Here's a Lotus Elan Plus 2. Absolutely love these. I think they're a brilliant looking old car. The sort of more GT variant of the likes of the Elan. Very nice. And I still don't know what this thing is. There's no clues on the number plate because it's a modern number plate. Borough of Thames Down. If anyone knows, please let me know because I've got no clue what that is. There's a Rover SD1 here. This is a Vitesse, so a slightly sportier variant of the SD1 with the 3.5 litre Rover V8 that had a very long production life. Great little MG Metro here. It's interesting, it's got a snap-on sort of seat covering thing. That's an interesting little mod.
Where's he going?
Now a little look at the American section. There's an absolutely fantastic pre-war Packard. This is most likely going to be a straight 8 engine. Absolutely beautiful. A column change, a very ornate column change actually. Gorgeous interior as always. What a stunning looking car that is. Love that. Very rare as well. A few more modern pickups, a Ram and a GMC. And here's the beautiful old Chevy 3100. I think it's been made to look like that instead of genuine patina, but it does look good. A couple of rifles, well just the one rifle actually, and a baseball bat. Very jazzy interior. I like this dashboard, looks nice and original. I think this is why they stopped to put these two fellas in the back of it. Very well done though. Here's a slightly later Ford. This would be a V8 matched up to a 3-speed auto, most likely. Very stylish. And here's what I think is a Chrysler Imperial. It's a LeBaron, actually, a 440 V8, 7.2 litres from 1975. The great thing is the window's open on this so we can look at the absolutely insane interior on this old Imperial. Just look at those seat coverings. Oh, I'd love to look at these because they're just such a wild, wild car. The crazy thing is that massive engine probably makes less than or fewer than 200 brake horsepower. It's weird how they've got a 7.2 litre V8 but they really don't make a lot of power. But that's not really what it's for. It's a 3-speed auto, it's a wafter for American roads and just a spectacular car. Here's a gorgeous Cadillac from 1964, pillarless. That is absolutely stunning. Another column change car. That is absolutely lovely. Just look at the front of this beautiful old Cadillac. Very iconic design. That is absolutely stunning, isn't it? Love the look of that. Here's a Corvette Stingray here for sale. I saw a manual one of these which is very rare recently. And actually this one's a manual as well. Might be the same car actually. I saw it at the Cape Thorne Classic Car Show. And I think I've seen it here at the Malvern Classic Car Show. Great bit of Americana. There's a 56 Chevy here from Washington. Also left-hand drive column change. This is an auto actually. Slightly modified, lowered, different wheels. Very cool. Pairing of lovely old Mustangs with the two different body shapes. Got this one from 67 here. This will have a 289 V8 in it. And this one is the booted car. And just beyond that is a brilliant sounding Fastback. This is perhaps like a Bullet-esque livery from California. It's a GT390 from 1967. Best colour. Does look quite similar to Bullets. Is it a manual gearbox? Yes, it is. 4 on the floor. That would be incredible to drive. One thing about a lot of these American cars originally, they would have all had 3-speed autos, which drained the performance and driving pleasure for a lot of them. It was easy for long, sort of mild, devouring cruises, but for driving experience, I think a manual is always going to be far superior. And it sounded absolutely fantastic. I remember filming one of these at the Combermere Classic Car Meet, which sounded absolutely incredible. Great sound that car made. And I'm sure this one is no different. Fantastic looking car, and I bet that sounds very nice. I heard it on idle on the way in, but I'm sure when the revs build, that will sort of have a beautiful sort of shriek. Perhaps some wheel spaces, they look quite sort of set out. The rear tyres there in a very butch American fashion. Lovely old Mercedes here. This is a 220 SE, left-hand drive. 4 on the floor manual with some grapes. Let's have a look at the front of this, the stacked headlight design. This one has got the separate headlights, which suggests it's perhaps an American market car. The UK market cars, these just had solid lamps going down like that, but the American and South African cars, where a lot of these came from, with the separate lamps like that. But if this was from South Africa, it'll be right-hand drive, which it is not, so it's most likely from America. They're very popular in both countries. Extreme quality car, and a very handsome looking car as well. Back at the Renault 5 engine 4CV, here's a very early 2CV with the corrugated bonnet. A bit more French goodness. This is a very early DS. I like these Marshall lamps. There's the extra spot lamps and then the standard headlamps on it. This is quite an early car actually. What a stunning shape these are. So once again, the single spoke steering wheel just in there. Column change. We've seen a fair few column change cars here today actually. Brilliant looking car there. And a gorgeous old Bentley. Can't even see the engine, perhaps that's just the air cleaner obscuring it all. Sorry, the lighting is a bit funny. Reflecting off this beautifully silver old Bentley. And here's a Volvo PV544. Second one we've seen here. These are very rare. Here's the engine on here, quite a sporty looking carb on there, Weber, just the single Weber, matched up to the 4-cylinder. Looks like a bit of a rally car this one, or a road rally car. It's a Ford Consul Capri, very stylish. Absolutely beautiful old car there. Love the look of those, very stylish. The Capri, the most sporty, all the Consul Classic saloons. Another Moggy Minor, so many of those here today. And the first Austin Healey, that is a 3000. We've seen 200 cars, 104, 100M, but this is the first of the Austin Healey 3000s, 3 litre straight 6, 4-speed manual gearbox as well. The BMC C-Series engine in these, but tuned up with twin SU carburetors just there. The sort of engine you see in Westminsters of the same period, but tuned up for the Austin Healey here in the sports car. Proper sort of quintessential classic British sports car there. Rover P6, this is another early car with the tin front. That's a 2000, probably single carb. And a VW Carman gear, a bit modified, bit of like a metal flake paint job on there. And Mini Light-esque wheels. And another pairing of Moggy Minors. Another 1000 saloon. And the first Traveller we've seen here today. A couple of Cobra replicas and an absolutely stunning Series 1 E-Type. This is a roadster, most desirable, the whole front demonstrating lifting forwards to reveal the 3.8 litre straight 6. Triple SU carbs under there, beautiful engine. Oh, that's interesting, this is actually a 4.2, sorry. So is that perhaps a Series 1.5 car? Thank you. It sure is, judging by the owner's nod inside this. This is a 1.5 car with the slightly enlarged engine. The Series 1 had a 3.8 and the Series 1.5 having a 4.2, so there you go. Morgan. Let's have a closer look at these two Cobras here. First a convertible, but I want to have a look at the hardtop one. This looks really quite good actually. Have a look at that. A couple of fuel filler caps either side of it as well. A very shiny V8 engine there, 427 replica, the largest engine. It's a really nicely done one, that. Gate crash in the 80s section, oh sorry, no, post-90s section here is a Wolseley 6110, I think this car is. This sounded really lovely on the way in, big 6-cylinder. Another great Farina design car, the Wolseley a bit more upmarket than the Austin Cambridge. Haven't seen that A55 either. Fancy a Delta Integrale HF, beautiful car. So many modern classics here, future classics, MR2, more recent shape of Beetle, MG. Many sort of future classics we'll be seeing a lot more of at classic car shows. There's a Toyota Celica GT4, which is a sort of homologation car for the World Rally Championship, so that's quite a bit of kit. And here is the simply massive mini section. Fair few British Leyland era cars like this mini here. Wolseley Hornet, that looks really nice actually on those Wolfie wheels. There are plenty of the Rover era of cars, a slightly earlier one here. H-Reg, actually probably pretty similar era. This is a bit of a crazy one. This, at one point of its life, would have been a Clubman 1275 GT. Very sporty intake there, but it's had a bit of a body kit, lots of modifications going on there. Many more quite late minis. And this is a nice one, a little Morris Mini Traveller. This is lovely, isn't it? A bit of information there. 11th of June 1969 it was built. Lovely condition as well. So lovely little car. Plenty more minis. Another Estate. There's a pairing of Estates here actually. It's a Clubman shaped car, that I believe. Quite a good looking car, these British Leyland Clubman Estates, the Clubman front. It's for sale, this one as well. We've got a slightly earlier one here. This is an Austin, I believe. All of these cars have sort of evolutions of the BMC A-Series engine, transversely mounted by Mr. Isigonis, who designed this great bit of packaging. Here, a bit of gate crashing is a Mark 1 GTI Golf. And here's the Crazy Lotus. It's a mix of a Milan and a Mazda RX-8, so that's where the rotary engine comes from. A few great little sports cars here. Alfa Romeo Spider, quite a late one with some of the larger bumpers, but still a manual gearbox and can sound very nice with perhaps a sporty intake manifold or just unmodified. So TVR is on its way to the arena. Chimera, brilliant sounding car those. Another car that's for sale is this Alfa. There you go. Very sleek indeed. Another Mark IV Supra here. There's the 2JZ engine. I'm sure that'll make some crazy power. Massive turbo on there. Borg Warner turbo. That is incredible. Sometimes you see the performance stats of these cars in the windscreen. Not this one, unfortunately. But that's going to make some serious power. An MGT series car. Another future classic. Series 3 Land Rover. A few nice little pedal cars there. All repro, but a good shape. TR6 here. And this is a little rarity. I believe it's a sort of homemade kit car type thing, based to be like a Lotus 11 50s racer. And it looks really nice actually. Very period correct. I like the period bucket seats in this one as well. That's a smart little car, isn't it? Is it Lotus 11?
It's a replica Lotus 11.
I thought it was.
Which makes it quite unusual.
Westfield, actually, I can see on the interior now.
A copy of the Lotus 11.
That's nice. It looks like it's got MGB dials in it as well. I think I've recognised that. That's a great looking little car. Doesn't look like the best of turnouts for the Austin, Cambridge and Westminster Car Club, unfortunately today. Just the one turning up, but it is a lovely car, an A55 Cambridge. BMC goodness here. Perhaps some modified wheels. I think me and Dad were discussing they perhaps look like MGTD or Magnet. So a bit of also BMC relations, but not Austin or Wolseley. There was actually a Wolseley 6110 over there, which could sort of make the turnout look a bit better for the club. But it's still nice to see this fantastic old Cambridge here, some nice badges on the front.
Sections I like the most because it epitomises what our motoring heritage is all about. If it weren't for some of these cars coming into the arena now, we wouldn't have the modern vehicle.
Another look at the pre-60s section has offered us an absolutely stunning Vauxhall Victor estate. How stylish is this? Wraparound windscreen on the front. They obviously did saloons of this. An F-Type estate from 1961 here. It's on its third engine apparently, one of only 12 known to survive. Being an estate, obviously very rare indeed, really stylish. At the back, love the look of this era of car. Vauxhalls, always very sort of American styled in the 50s and 60s. That is an extremely good looking car.
You will be given an exhibition plaque for coming into the arena. We will more than likely break for a lunch after that, and then after the lunch, and that will be about 2 o'clock. So listen out for that. And then we'll go from the 18th of November to 2000. So just listen out for the running order as we go through into the afternoon.
Now that we're having a little break for lunch, I think we'll have a look at my buys for today. First up is this lovely old registration plate. It's got a remains of a Blue Mel's logo there for the grand sum of £5. I think that's a pretty good buy because they can double up as like an old sign, but it's a really cheap old sign. And I've got quite a few of them. Well, when you got a few of them, they look really good together. Just behind me is the Series 1.5 Jag. That's a lovely car. And my main buy from today with this great little auto jump is this fantastic old Shell clam can. Place it down there. I've wanted one of these for a long time. Just love the design. No, it's not a Duro can sadly, but I think for £25 that's a really nice buy. It's really straight, from 1930 dated, so I'll oily rag that one up later. I think that's a lovely find. It's still got the cap with it as well. It's looking a bit dry, but it will come up quite a bit nicer. So it's been a fruitful day in terms of video making and Ned the Shed thing buying. Yes, that's the proper term I'm using now. Just slot the number plate back in and have some lunch.
I did a car show yesterday in Peebles, in a local village that I used to live by. And I mean, they're skeletons with clothes on. And where do you acquire them from? When do you get them from? eBay? Yeah. Incredible. I mean, it turns heads.
Ford Zephyr, I think that is rolling in. That's a very rare old beast, isn't it? Sounds just like a 4-cylinder executive saloon. The blue Riley RM's off now. Joining a Citroen DS.
Having said that, what's ended up with? What made you keep it so long?
Starting to come to the end of the day now, and a lot of people are leaving, including the Riley 1.5, and soon I think the Peugeot 304 Cabriolet and Renault 5 engine 4CV. If you've got anything to say, anything you want to say about any of the cars here in this video, please let me know in the comments, and have a look at the channel homepage for similar classic shows events. Remember to subscribe, share with your friends, and like the video. And I think with that, that's just about it from this video. Bye.